Do you remember what your first job was?
Yes. Out in the public with Gulf Oil Fertilizer, selling fertilizer and chemicals in Iowa.
Okay.
So, right out
Chemicals
of college.
for farming and stuff?
Yes, to farmers and wholesale and retail.
Now, was that something you had gone to college for?
My major was ag econ,
Okay.
and so that it fell right in.
Okay.
Enjoyed visiting with farmers. So
Yeah. Kind of being a representative for all those things
yes,
for them?
yes.
Do you remember what your first job was as a child?
Well, growing up on a grade A dairy, but my first job was taking care of 400 laying hens
Okay.
and gather the eggs and candle them, and then twice a week the truck came by to pick up the eggs.
Really?
So
You said candle them?
you put the egg, we took a Folgers coffee can,
Uh-huh.
cut a hole to set the egg on, and you had a light bulb underneath it.
Yeah.
You set the egg up on top to make sure there were no blood spots or anything.
Okay. So it was kind of a quality control type? Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's
You
cool.
didn't wash them, you used a dry cloth to rub them off
Okay.
if there was any residue.
Yeah.
So,
Did you break a lot of eggs? Drop any, or?
yes, once in a while we'd have a mean old hen and she'd want to peck you trying to get in there to get the eggs. She wanted to set them, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
That was going to be my next question, was how many angry moms did you run into?
Well, the biggest thing was remembering to always turn off the water because you could flood the chicken house,
Okay.
and that wasn't good.
Did you do that? Nice.
And then we'd have to clean the whole chicken house out.
Yeah.
So
That's not a good day, I bet.
no, it was a full day's job.
Yeah.
So
Did you have any rivalries, so to speak, with any of those hens where there was certain ones of them where you just didn't want to get around, like they always gave you trouble?
once in a while, but
Yeah.
you just had to reach in and throw them off the nest. So,
Yeah.
but we always raised with a big family. We always had, I think we started out with 225 to 250 frying chickens, and then they were turned loose, and then we had to gather them up, and Mom would get a couple ladies come out, and we'd catch them all, and Dad would pick them, and those ladies would clean them, and then we'd freeze them.
Yeah.
And but we didn't have deep freezes at that time. We took them to town to the locker,
Okay.
and we had several lockers with 7 kids. Well,
Yeah.
with all the meat
For your family.
for the family. Yes.
Yeah. Did you like chicken?
Oh yes, still do.
Still do.
Still do. But you'd go to town at least on Thursday or Friday to get the meat that you were going to have for Sunday dinner. So
Yeah. They used to always say that chicken was like preacher's food. And, I think the idea was that it was one of the cheaper, meats that you could serve or
Oh
whatever.
yes.
But then I was thinking, well, that's probably the case for most families
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
And of course it was 7 of us, always frying up 2 chickens.
Yeah.
And of course we'd have chicken and noodles. We had big gardens, canned a lot. And
Yeah.
so
So chicken and noodles, fried chicken, just about any.
baked chicken and chicken and dressing. And then Mom did a lot of meatloaf.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so you mix mother's oats in with the meat, and that
Yeah. Swell up and.
stretch that. And
Okay.
you could take 3 pounds of hamburger and a box of mother's oats and make about 6 pounds of meatloaf. So,
That just doesn't seem forthright.
yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Meatloaf gravy and
Yeah. Appreciate what you have.
oh
anyway.
yes, yes. But
Make it stretch. Well, tell us your name, your wife's name, and what ministry you oversee.
Larry Gatewood, wife's name is Sally, and Building and Custodial.
Okay.
So,
Now, what do you see as the purpose of your ministry, or why is it important?
well, there's the ministers themselves, and with the building the size it is, they don't have time to look after those things, and it's the responsibility of the membership to look after those. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm no finished carpenter or anything, but with a little bit of electrical or doorknobs, changing light ballast, and now without ballast with the LEDs, the baptismal, the baptistry. Hopefully it's working
Yeah.
and warm. And then today we installed an ice machine, so
Yeah.
had
So
to
you never know
change
what
it
you're
out.
going to get.
Yes. So, but
Well, and as you said, it's a large building, so there's always a lot of needs.
well, and then with the different groups, Kristen, when they get putting on plays, Terry Pryor and I installed some anchors in the floor for the props,
Yeah.
so that there was no danger of them falling over on the students and
Yeah.
injuring someone.
Yeah.
And
I wonder how many of our people see those on there and don't realize what they're for, because
I-
most of the rest of the year we
probably.
don't use them.
Right.
That's good.
yeah.
So
Well, at one time, there was some concern that they could be seen from the audience,
yeah.
but nobody knows what they are, so
Right.
it's okay.
After a while, they just blend into everything
Yes,
else.
yes. So
Yeah.
they've been there well over a year now, so
Yeah.
probably going on 2.
Yeah. Well, and not only do we have a big building, but we have a lot of community use,
Yes.
and so that would.
Well, and in assisting, there's different ladies that they want to decorate the kitchen. We get up and help put things on the wall, or
Yeah.
and different things that they have. And I think that one thing that's coming up, or talked about today, was a couple times a year to have a little so-called work days. We need to clean up the garage,
Yes.
move some things around,
Yeah.
and it gives it's an opportunity for the men and women and older children to get together to know one another better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they may not all be in first service or second, and so
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Yeah. And many hands make for light work.
Oh,
So
yes.
That's great.
You get 8 or 10 folks, you can do 2 or 3 days work in about
Yeah.
half a day.
Yeah.
So,
I was thinking about the importance of our building in its use, not only for the community, for our people, but the type of impression that it gives when you come into a building. And if things look run down, or if they are broken, or just aren't kept well kept, then the type of thing that projects onto us for if we're taking care of what we have, and if we take things seriously, and how much
Right.
that ministry.
and it's, to help Lindsay, our janitorial lady, if we see something, we may need to tighten up a latch on a restroom door.
Yeah.
Maybe we're out of towels, soap,
Yeah.
and you just kind of learn to look for those things
Yeah.
and give her a hand.
Yeah. The sense of ownership that you have with our building.
Yes.
That's a great point too, because really, if we all take that sense of ownership with our building, then everybody's involved in your ministry, even as it's all of our responsibility.
Oh yes, we want to let any of us know if there's a commode that's running needlessly, that just adds to our cost, and
Yeah.
we may need to go in and change a flush valve or a faucet that's not correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
helping those little things can turn into big things.
Yes.
So
There was a day a few winters ago when I came up on a Saturday, and I was coming out of the auditorium down the ramp, and I glanced down the hallway, and there was a reflection of something, and I thought,
Uh-oh.
that's not normal. And I went down there, and sure enough, a hose had been busted off of one of the toilets and just started running water like crazy. And so there was water about that deep for all through the bathroom, coming out into the hallway and going across into the Sunday school classroom on the other side of the hall. And I just didn't know what to do. I mean, it was like overwhelming to think about.
Yeah.
And after a few phone calls, we got shop vacs out and started to get fans on it. And,
That's all you can do.
See what we could do. So anyway, those are the things that it helps to know sooner than later. So,
Yes.
For
yes.
sure. What do you enjoy the most about working with the Building Custodial Ministry?
Well, it's just making sure that things are there for people. We even tried to, the ladies have asked us to rearrange a couple of cabinets where they store containers. And then getting to know another deacon or elder better. And we talk and share things, and it's a good,
Share life.
Yes, yes.
That's great. And we, even you mentioned that the ministers and things around here can't get all done, but we enjoy you guys being here and doing that too.
Well,
and getting to know you guys as we do it as
you
well.
all help us with things if it's, because some of us guys are getting older and we need you strong ones.
So we call Lance. And,
Right.
Well, what challenges does your ministry bring?
It's, sometimes we have to go up on the roof. We have to do, straighten up something, or we had a water leak. And so we got up there on the roof. We figured out it was coming in around a light fixture that on the side of the building that we could reach.
Yeah.
And we caulked around it and hopefully stopped it. So.
Yeah.
And we've got, as far as challenges upcoming, we're going to need to do a good stripping and waxing of our family center and the kitchen.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's upcoming. Just recently was painted. Another one of the deacons was in there and helped, and Esco, and was great. And he's excellent painter. And so Terry's a great carpenter, and has done a lot for Kristen and others I know. But,
so some of those types of jobs, what are some other ways where people can get involved, or what types of things could this ministry use people's help in doing?
If there are times when we're coming up to maybe a funeral dinner or our Thanksgiving dinner, is help, giving a help, and they've all been good about it, but setting up tables, chairs, or taking them down. And that's another way. Using the garage out there, they're getting the float ready for Christmas. They've got their own crew, but still yet is helping them and clean up.
For sure. And so if they sign up, say on a day like today, or a day like when we're seeing this video for Ministry Fair, and they sign up for Building and Custodial, then they might be getting a call like about a work day or something when they're doing some jobs, odds and ends. And sometimes I'm assuming you can use certain skills, but other times it's just needing extra hands and people. So just, anybody could do it.
Yeah, strong back and a weak mind, so to speak. But no, we can use everybody, and so it's like I say, on the work days, it's going to be a family affair as far as I'm concerned, and we can all take turns in doing things, and not only inside, we can get out and do the grounds. That's another group, but it's still yet the building.
Right.
And so.
Well, that's great. Well, we know that the way our building looks and the first impression that people have of it reflects on not only the church, but it reflects on Christ ultimately. And so we appreciate all that you do to make our church work well and look good.
Well, we enjoy doing it. We want people to let us know. One of the projects was brought up to us that when they come out of the sanctuary, is seeing where the step is. And maybe we need to come in with some tape, something, or we're going to research what to do there to make it more visible.
Yeah.
That, because, hey, we all, when you come out there, you get, maybe you've just gotten bifocals for the first time or something, and that changes on you.
Yeah.
And,
coming up and down steps, and in a place, if it's not as well lit, or if the carpet's a certain color, then
yes. Well, and there again, if you notice something, I don't want to throw it all on Amanda, but mention it to one of the ministers or Amanda, and they'll call and let us know and say, hey, we need to take a look at this.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
So we're open. Don't think you're going to upset anybody by letting them know.
Right.
And,
you can't fix what you don't know.
That's right. Exactly.
For sure. Well, Larry, thank you so much for what you do for our building and serving the church.
Well, it's fun, and you don't have to be retired, but sometimes we're doing this stuff during the week.
Yes.
And if you are, we've got a place for you.
Yeah.
Come and join us.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's good.